Apple released a new creator studio, and it's the reason I'm finally starting. I'm currently a senior in college. My desk setup really isn't great, and I haven't upgraded anything for like 5 years. But this made me realize you don't need a perfect space to start creating. You just need a system. And with only 4 months left in this room, it completely shifted my mindset from building something permanent to building something that I can take. So in this video, I'll show you what changed for me, the current issues I have with my setup, and what I'm building towards. This is the current state of my room. It's small, it's cramped, and it's just not built for focused work or long-term use. But with Apple's recent launch of the Creator Studio, it completely changed my mindset. It showed me that creative work is more about how everything fits together and not just what kind of gears and tools you have. If you're a student with an iPad like me, that's a big deal because it lowers the barrier to actually starting. What stands out to me about the Creator Studio isn't any particular feature, it's the direction it points towards. It seems like Apple is pushing creative work towards workflows that make more sense for the iPad instead of needing the use of a computer. And for students that matters, because a lot of us don't have the time, space, or budget to build an ideal setup right away. And with the Creator Studio only being $399 for students, that is really affordable. And when your setup is limited, the way your tools connect to each other is way more important than the tools themselves. And that's what made the release of Apple Creator Studio feel like the perfect time for me to start. One of the biggest things that stopped me from starting wasn't motivation, it was uncertainty. I didn't know which editing app to choose, which workflow would work best for me, and every time I tried to figure it out, it kind of was overwhelming. There are so many options out there, and when you're just starting out, that tough choice alone can make you feel like quitting before you even start. Now, Apple Creator Studio didn't just magically solve all that for me, but it did sure make the path a lot more clear for me. It felt as though Apple was giving me the right direction to start moving towards. And if you're a student with an iPad, this is important because your iPad's now not just a device for taking notes or consumption. It's becoming a place where you can get real work done. And it's not just because the iPad suddenly replaced laptops. It's because the workflow they're building around it is significantly improved. And when the workflow makes sense, it makes getting started so much more doable, especially when you're in a small room like this. And that's what this channel is going to be about. You don't have to have the perfect setup or the perfect gear to get started. Building a workspace and a workflow can be tailored to what you already have and what fits you. But with that being said, I do want to document upgrading this room step by step. From the desk and the chair, to how I organize my workflow, to how everything connects together. And by no means am I an expert, just someone who's building in real time. And right now, these are my main issues with my current setup. One of the main problems with my setup is my current chair. The arms on it are barely holding on. They stick out really far, not very stable. The cushion is not very comfy. The back kind of just flops all over with the rest of the chair. And I think part of that is because this clip back here is just completely broken off, so there's really no support for the chair itself. And as you can see, my chair also doesn't fit snug into my desk. I actually have to cram in the arms for it to get in there. And part of that is because my desk is just super limited to how much it can fit, which is also why I want to upgrade to a standing desk, so not only that I have more room, but my chair fits under my desk. But instead of waiting for the perfect setup, I want to show you what the progress of upgrading looks like. I want to be able to look back in a couple of years and remember where I started from and see how much I've progressed over time. So if you're a student or just anyone who's trying to build within a limited space or budget, this is who this is for. This is just the starting point, and I'm going to be documenting the entire process as I go. So if you want to follow me along on this journey and help as I work to build a workspace that suits me, any support would be greatly appreciated.